What I miss the most from my home country is the deep sense of connection, the people, the culture, to my roots. I miss walking through streets that felt like they knew me, hearing me, hearing my language spoken everywhere, and being surrounded by the smells, the sounds, or rhythm. Everyday's life that felt so alive and familiar. I miss family gatherings where laughter filled the room, where the love was shared over food, and where I never felt alone. There is something irreplaceable about being in the place where your history is woven into everything, where you don't have to explain who you are or where you come from because everyone already knows. Um, even the struggles back home had a sense of togetherness. Here, life can feel so individual and distant. What I miss most is the unspoken warmth, the comfort, and truly the belonging. Is the feeling of connection and closeness. Back home, life felt more communal. Um, People were always around, neighbors knew each other, family was just a few steps away. There was a strong sense of belonging, and even the smallest daily routines felt full of warmth and meaning. Here in Washington, life is more individual and kind of fast paced. People are kind, but there is this quiet distance. Everyone seems busy, always moving. I've had to learn how to rebuild that sense of community um, from the ground up, which is which can feel lonely at times, and yeah, I would say maybe most of the times. Even the environment is different. um, my country's warmth, not just in the climate but also in the culture. There is something I miss deeply, but Washington has its own kind of beauty and safety, and I'm grateful for the opportunity it gives us as newcomers, and to dream big, even as we carry the memories of home in our hearts. What I love about living in Washington is how the nature here has this way of healing. It kind of healing me. The stillness of the water, the majesty of the mountains, even the gray skies. They all carry a certain calm that gives me space to think, to grow, and start again. It's not always easy being far from where I came from, but there is something beautiful about finding strength in this new place. I've discovered a slower pace here, one that allows me to kind of be more present um, with my family and more grounded in who I am becoming. And while I will always miss the roots I left behind, I'm learning to plant new ones here, surrounded by different kind of beauty and peace. Every day feels like a step forward. So the hardest part about attending school here in Washington wasn't just one thing. It was a mix of challenges that all hit at once. The language barrier made me feel like I was constantly behind, even when I understood the materials. I'd sit in the class trying to follow along, afraid to speak up, afraid to be judged for my accent or for what for saying something wrong. Um, but it wasn't just about the words, it was the culture too. Everything felt so different. The way students talked to teachers, the way they made friends, even how casual everything seemed. They came from a place where respect and formality were everything. Um, where classrooms felt very, very structured and strict. Here, I felt invisible at times, like no one really understood where I came from or what I was carrying with me. And yet, it wasn't all bad. I grow a lot. I've learned to adapt, to ask for help, to be okay with not knowing everything. Um, I found teacher who cared and friends who listened even if it took time. It was a hard adjustment, but it made me stronger and more confident in ways I've never expected. Um, it wasn't just about learning in school, it was about learning how to belong, I guess. That's where, the hardest part. I really wish every Washington teenager could understand that students like me, who came from another country, who speak more than one language, who lived through things many can't imagine, are not behind. We are not less. In fact, we are an asset. We carry entire worlds within us, languages, cultures, memories, and survival. We've had to rebuild our lives from the ground up while learning a new language, while adapting to a new system, and trying to make sense of who we are in the middle of all of it. We work twice as hard to catch up, to be seen, to be heard, and still show up with determination, with dreams, and with quiet strength. It's not just about learning English or fitting in, it's about holding into where we came from while fighting for where we want to go. I wish they knew how strong we really are, that every dual language student walks into the room already having accomplished something huge. The courage to start over. We are not to be pitied, we are to be respected. Um, and I hope they can see that everybody more than where they came from. They are We are students who are trying, who are learning, who wants to belong just like they do. And that maybe with a little kindness and curiosity, uh, we're not so different after all. One thing I'd like to tell my teacher is thank you for seeing me, or at least trying to, even when I was quiet, overwhelmed, or struggling to find the right words. Your patience means everything. But I also want you to know that students like me carry more than just backpack into the classroom. We carry grief, we carry change, we carry fear, we carry responsibilities of our families, of our, siblings, that most people our age don't. Um, Sometimes we're learning a new language while also translating to our families at home, to our siblings, to our illiterate parents. Sometimes we're pretending we're okay because we don't want to seem weak. I wish more teachers understood that silence doesn't mean we're not trying, and that a little encouragement can go a long way. So I tell my teachers, believe in us, not just for what we can become, but for what we're already overcome. We may not always say it, um, but we are grateful, and with your support, we can thrive. Um, we can thrive a long way.